There are 46.8 tycoons around the world. Indeed. There are a larger number of tycoons on the planet than the number of inhabitants in the whole territory of California then was populated state in the American. The issue with this number is that it doesn't recount to you the entire story on the grounds that 40% of these tycoons are in the US. All in all, the United States makes somewhat more than 4% of the total populace, yet delivers close to half of the world's moguls. Furthermore, that is not coincidentally since the Apocalypse War II, the United States has arisen as the world's superpower that US dollar turned into the global cash save, which implied that the whole world began involving the dollars as a method for protecting riches. Until 1971 the dollar was supported to destroy, yet we as a whole realize what occurred. Next. President Nixon deserted the highest quality level, which persuaded numerous to think that will destroy the dollar. However, it wasn't. It just made the dollar significantly more impressive, truth be told. The US could continue to print cash at whatever point it required, since the whole world was prepared to purchase dollars. The fact of the matter is that US from that point forward turned into the spot that would allow you the most noteworthy opportunity to turn into a mogul. Regardless of whether you investigate the best 10 most extravagant individuals, 8 out of them have assembled their fortunes in the US. Assuming these individuals attempt to fabricate precisely the same thing in some other country, they would have fizzled. Pointed best wouldn't accomplish the very degree of progress that they did in the US. Elon Musk is an ideal model. The person came from South Africa, considered in Canada, however that's what he knew. Whether he needs to fabricate something gigantic, then the US is his main objective. Yet that is not the case today. The world is changing. Different nations that are rivaling the US, particularly China. I as of late went over the video standards for managing the changing scene request by Ray Dalio. YouTube continued to recommend it to me each and every day. I just needed to watch this on the grounds that it was in a real sense all over the place. In the event that you haven't watched it, feel free to do that, it's a showstopper. Since the world is evolving, the guidelines of the game are additionally evolving. If you have any desire to remove advantage from this evolving world, if you need to ensure you end up at the top, to exploit these progressions to assemble a fortune, the following are 5 new guidelines of cash that you ought to adhere to. Number 1. Become acclimated to high expansion. To comprehend assuming that expansion is an issue, you should simply investigate this chart. Harking back to the 1960s, the US was exceptionally cautious with printing cash. Since the US dollar was attached to destroy, notwithstanding, it actually printed more cash than how much gold it had. So in 1971, the highest quality level was deserted. Also, from that point forward the US was utilizing the printing machine. Each and every opportunity it ran over an emergency while bringing down loan fees wasn't sufficient. It was anything but nothing to joke about, thinking back to the 1980s or 90s, however after the website bubble, the US rasped to print trillions of dollars. Nonetheless, that was only the start, since a couple of years after the fact in 2008, the real estate market declined. Great many individuals lost their positions. The houses they have bought lost portion of their worth, however their home loans continued as before. So a ton of borrowers defaulted on their home loans. The absolute biggest organizations failed, proposed Lehman siblings. The emergency didn't simply hit the US yet affected the whole world. Since the conflict, the economy is profoundly associated with the US. That is the point at which the genuine cash printing began. The battle began purchasing trillions of dollars worth of home loan upheld protections. It printed nearly $3.7 trillion altogether to escape this emergency. That is the point at which a great deal of examiners started to caution us about dollars debasement. Each additional dollar in the economy cheapens the current monetary certificates available for use. The issue is that once you become acclimated to printing cash, it is truly challenging to dispose of it. When COVID hit the world, how did the Fed respond? Precisely, it printed trillions of dollars. Truth be told, 1 out of each dollar in presence was imprinted over the most recent 2 years. That is the reason house costs soar. The US just debased the dollar again to escape this emergency. What's more, presently with needs to do precisely the same thing with understudy obligations. In any case, the issue is that this is impractical. Number 2, the US dollar will before long lose its place. As the worldwide money hold, the United States have previously arrived at its pinnacle and is on decline. Furthermore, China is the new rising power, and that implies that the US dollar could before long be supplanted by the yuan as the worldwide hold cash. One of the principal justifications for why there is consistently interest for the US dollar is on the grounds that oil is generally sold in dollars. To purchase oil from the Center East, then, at that point, it has first to purchase dollars to pay the Saudis. For instance, which supports the interest for dollars. Oil is not normal for some other ware. There is generally an interest for oil since the whole world's sudden spikes in demand for oil. Everything from planes to tracks to boats to vehicles, burn oil and gasoline. Without them society as we probably are aware it today can't work, which kept the US dollar solid. Nonetheless, it could change in the approaching future. Since top oil delivering nations are attempting to sell their oil in various monetary standards, which can essentially depreciate the dollar. For that reason hold genuine resources. By the day's end, each cash is a mode of trade. It is valid object isn't in holding it, yet in utilizing it to trade products, monetary forms go back and forth. Before the US dollar, the British pound was the worldwide cash, save preceding it was the Dutch guilder. So the shrewd thing is keep the vast majority of your abundance in the wheel resources that would appreciate in esteem. In the event that the money debases, since the Fed printed trillions of dollars to escape this pandemic, house costs for instance, rose by more than 20% to get up to speed. Be that as it may, these sorts of changes don't occur out of the blue. They require years in the event that not many years. What makes a difference isn't to end up holding huge loads of monetary forms that is could wind up losing the majority of their worth. At the point when these progressions occur. Number 4, keep a sharp eye. The primary justification for why domains fall is that they settle in. When they arrived at the top. When you have all the influence, you begin becoming acclimated to an agreeable life and progressively fall into a safe place that we can consume step by step, until you figure out that your rival has become more grounded while the US is keeping away from. The aggravation of its emergency is by printing cash, which persuaded numerous to think that it will go on for eternity. This ceaseless printing cash has an end. That isn't really brilliant. There is an incredible statement that says tough situations make resilient men, tough men make happy times, fun times make powerless men, and frail men make difficult situations. So the test is to constantly have the hustler's mindset, since everything is incredible today doesn't imply that it will be like that for eternity. Number 5, adjust to make do. We have no clue about how long the US dollar will be the worldwide save money. However, what we cannot deny is that enormous changes will occur in the approaching future. Whoever will remove advantage from these progressions will beat in your rich. We should accept a model. The United States has a solid hold on the monetary area. Visa and MasterCard in a real sense control the whole market. In any case, since the US confined Russia, the world is searching for elective ways of handling installments. China, for instance, has Association Pay and Russia has one also, yet these are old frameworks. They have been created to suit the conventional financial framework. However, presently with crypto, the game is changing. Henries of thousands of individuals from China, Russia, and different nations that are discarded from the US monetary area are utilizing different crypto stages to move cash around. Furthermore, this is only the starting chances to foster something in the area that would worth billions of dollars and interminable. A debt of gratitude is in order for watching. What's more, until sometime later. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumb up and share with your friend. Thank you for watching.